不要人活路，这怕邪人哦。你这咋带了哦？我同意。
落地哦，我落了加起来是落地。
One of the most powerful storms on Earth this year has now slammed into eastern China after carving a destructive path across the western Pacific. Super Typhoon Bavi, known locally in the Philippines as Inday, reached an astonishing Category 5 intensity over the open ocean before striking multiple regions with life-threatening winds, torrential rain, destructive storm surge, and deadly landslides. From the Northern Mariana Islands to the Philippines, Japan, Taiwan, and now China, millions of people have been affected as authorities race to deal with the storm's aftermath. Here's everything you need to know. Super Typhoon Bavi began its most dangerous phase when it rapidly intensified into a Category 5 super typhoon, packing maximum sustained winds of around 180 miles per hour or 285 kilometers per hour. At its peak, the storm's central pressure dropped to an extraordinary 901 hectopascals, making it one of the strongest tropical cyclones of 2026, and the third Category 5 storm of this Pacific typhoon season. Despite undergoing several eye wall replacement cycles, a natural process that often weakens tropical cyclones, Bavi maintained exceptional strength for several days as it tracked westward across the Pacific Ocean. The storm's first devastating landfall came near Rota in the Northern Mariana Islands on July 6th, while still at peak intensity. Residents endured catastrophic winds, intense rainfall, and powerful storm surge. Early reports indicate that roughly half of all structures on Rota were damaged or destroyed. Power outages spread across the island and are expected to last for weeks or even months in some areas. Ports and airports were forced to close, cutting off transportation while emergency crews began damage assessments. Several injuries were also reported on both Rota and nearby Guam. As Bavi continued westward, the storm never made direct landfall in the Philippines, but its massive outer rain bands still produced deadly consequences. Between July 8th and July 10th, relentless rainfall triggered landslides across several provinces, including Sarangani, Lanao del Sur, and Bukidnon. Authorities have confirmed that at least 19 people lost their lives, while 4 others remain missing. Rescue teams continue searching affected communities as unstable hillsides and continuing rain complicate operations.
我是虚拟的，你能听到我说话吗？浙江台州玉环。哇，天哪，真的是惊涛骇浪。我来找他了，你。
The typhoon then approached Japan's remote southern islands. On July 10th and 11th, Bavi swept across parts of the Sakishima Islands, including Ishigaki and Tarama, bringing Category 2 strength winds of around 100 miles per hour, violent gusts, heavy rainfall, and dangerous coastal conditions. More than 200 flights were canceled across Okinawa, disrupting travel for thousands of passengers. Authorities ordered tens of thousands of residents to evacuate as flooding and storm surge threatened vulnerable communities. Minor injuries were reported, while storm observers documented dramatic scenes as the powerful eye wall passed close to the islands. Taiwan was the next region to feel Bavi's impacts. Although the storm's center stayed offshore, northern Taiwan experienced torrential rain capable of producing up to 1 meter of rainfall in mountainous areas. The extreme precipitation significantly increased the risk of flash flooding and landslides. More than 14,000 people were evacuated as a precaution. Schools and offices around the Taipei metropolitan area were closed, while approximately 177,000 households lost electricity during the storm. Officials also reported 87 injuries, most involving slips and accidents on rain-soaked roads. Hundreds of flights were canceled as transportation networks struggled to cope with the severe weather. Late on Saturday night, July 11th, Super Typhoon Bavi finally made landfall in Yuhuan, Zhejiang Province, China, at approximately 11:20 p.m. local time. Although the storm had weakened from its historic Category 5 peak, it remained an extremely dangerous typhoon. At landfall, Bavi still had a central pressure of around 956 hectopascals, while coastal weather stations recorded wind gusts exceeding 195 kilometers per hour. Chinese authorities launched one of the largest evacuation efforts of the year, moving between 1.7 and 1.8 million people to safer locations, particularly across Zhejiang Province and neighboring Fujian. Flights, ferry services, and sections of the railway network were suspended as officials issued the country's highest-level rainstorm alerts. Emergency responders remain on standby as rivers continue rising and saturated hillsides increase the threat of landslides. As of now, Bavi is rapidly weakening after moving inland over eastern China. However, weakening does not mean the danger is over. The storm still carries enormous amounts of tropical moisture capable of producing prolonged, heavy rainfall across eastern and central China. Meteorologists warn that flash floods, river flooding, and landslides could continue through at least Monday, with cities including Wenzhou and surrounding communities remaining under significant threat. Across all affected regions, the storm has claimed at least 19 lives, injured more than 130 people, and left at least 4 people missing. The Northern Mariana Islands have suffered some of the most severe infrastructure damage, while widespread evacuations in Japan, Taiwan, and China have likely helped reduce the potential loss of life. As emergency crews continue rescue and recovery operations, millions of people remain on alert for flooding and landslides even after the strongest winds have passed. Typhoon Bavi serves as another powerful reminder that the greatest danger from tropical cyclones often continues long after landfall. Our thoughts are with everyone affected across the Pacific region, and we hope those still in harm's way remain safe as recovery begins. For continuing updates on major weather events from around the world, be sure to stay informed, and thank you for watching.